Good morning, viewers, to a very special episode with Medichitchat, and we have a very senior intensivist, Dr. Amit Nagpal, with us. So, Amit, before we start speaking about COVID and what are the latest updates, or maybe what are the things which a normal person should follow or not follow, I want you to introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Dr. Amit Nagpal. I'm a consultant intensivist and has been working in the field of critical care for the last 7 years. And I have been involved in taking care of COVID patients during the first wave and second wave. And we're here to talk about COVID, so let's see how it goes.
All right. So, before we move ahead, let me tell my viewers that Dr. Amit was one of the major people involved in the COVID care, and he himself, with his team, has saved so many lives, and we'll always be grateful to so much of efforts which you all had taken during the second wave, especially when the things were not in our hand. तो अमित, आजकल लेटेस्ट कोविड का क्या है? मतलब सच में जितना वो हम न्यूज़ में देख रहे हैं हाइप, क्या सच में उतने केसेस हैं?
So currently India में I don't think इतने cases हैं. Like we see news coming up in the news channel and even in newspapers. So very sporadic cases are there. I believe currently the numbers is in less than 100.
Okay.
But the projections are saying that the number of cases might increase.
All.
Now the thing is, it's all because what is happening in China. Now unfortunately, China just released the lockdown, and because of which there were millions of cases coming up.
Okay.
We're not sure about the figures, but whatever figures we're looking at, it's not looking good.
Okay.
Now, WHO is saying that it might increase, so it's better that we get prepared about it. And there are very high chances that whatever we are expecting, kuch bhi nahi ho.
Correct.
And you will see probably just mild cases, but it's too early to comment on that.
So still we do not know how it is going to really behave actually.
Exactly.
But knowing जो भी all over, ये तो चाइना का हो गया, बाकी वर्ल्ड का पिक्चर कैसा लग रहा है? Whatever little research you could do on your level.
So again, our sources of information is news, and the news is saying कुछ एक साउथ ईस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज में केसेस इंक्रीज हुए हैं. इंडिया में करंटली अभी इतना ज़्यादा डेटा नहीं आ रहा है, एंड इन आवर डे टू डे प्रैक्टिस वी आर नॉट सीइंग मच ऑफ दोस पेशेंट्स. ऑल्दो we see a lot of flu patients, but then the weather of India is changing, and it's winters in the north part, and you see basic viral infections also. Now unless you get RT-PCR done, you can't really find out whether this is COVID or not.
Correct.
But I want to believe that this is not COVID.
Right. So at least let's be positive.
Yeah.
Okay. But what are the current government guidelines? जो कि latest government हम लोगों से क्या expect करता है? And what are the government guidelines which we want to highlight?
So ma'am, I would start with this fact that what we have learned in past 2.5 years is prevention is the key. So jitna ho sake, we have to avoid getting infected. And there are very basic norms worldwide. Like we don't really have to buy really expensive stuff to protect ourselves. Just simple hand washing and making sure that you're wearing masks throughout. So the guidelines that we were following during COVID, we just have to continue. And I would like to share my story. For example, about 5 years ago, when there was no sign of COVID, I was traveling in Southeast Asia, and I was traveling through this tube, and I noticed that everybody was wearing masks. And it was looking funny. Being an Indian, we don't wear masks here. Before
Correct.
COVID, nobody knew what mask is,
Right.
other than people who are working in the hospitals.
Right.
So I saw everybody was wearing masks, and me and few of my friends, we are the only one in the whole train not wearing masks. And I did make fun of them, but then now if you look at the picture, I realized that they were very smart, and they knew what is happening. And I heard a lot of viral infections that happened before in Southeast Asia, so they are kind of prepared. While how we acted in India was also quite good, quite commendable. I had literally no hope that people will follow these guidelines, but then COVID taught us a lot of things.
Yes.
So the key is prevention and necessary precautions. So it starts with basic stuff, which is keeping a mask on, and you can go for 3-ply mask. It is very cheap, and you can try N95 also, but then as per the recent guidelines, N95 is not really required for everyone. So you can buy a cheap 3-ply mask. About the cloth, Mask, I'm not really sure about the efficiency, so it's better that you go for the medical mask.
Medical mask.
And other than that, hand washing, frequent hand washing.
And we can probably avoid overcrowding,
Absolutely.
overcrowded places.
Absolutely.
As
Now in India, it sometimes become difficult.
no, because the new year is coming na, तो
Yeah.
new year party के बारे में I'm worried.
Exactly.
So if we can kind of at least बच्चों को तो prevent कर सकते हैं.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, what I remember during the first wave, this was this time only. March was the time when India got hit, and I remember going out on New Year's with family, and we were hearing news from China, but there was nothing in India,
Correct.
and we were roaming around like it's nothing.
Nothing.
So, what I would suggest this time, let's take a step back, take care of our family,
Right.
stay with family, enjoy with family, and don't go to closed places, don't overcrowd places, it's for your own good.
So I wanted to know okay, if somebody wants to know the latest update about COVID, what source of information according to you is the best?
Right. So this is a very important question, ma'am, because I feel, you discuss with anyone and they have their own list of
Opinions.
So the right opinion would be if it is coming from government.
Correct.
Now, I believe Indian government has played a major role in the first two waves, and we had guidelines for home care, we had guidelines for patients coming
And
to
they are
OPD.
regularly updated.
Exactly.
बहुत ही अच्छा काम
So
करते
every
हैं.
2 months, 3 months, it's getting updated. So refrain yourself from sources like news channel, or talking to a friend or googling it. I would rather suggest go for the genuine website, be it Indian government website.
Anyway, we'll be putting a link inside the description box and it is very easily available. Normally वो वीडियो के नीचे अपने आप लिंक आ भी जाता है कि what is the latest guidelines. So that
And the guidelines get updated.
Yes.
So don't follow a guideline which is probably coming in January, because every 2 months, 3 months it's
वो
a new
स्क्रीनशॉट
virus.
वाला गाइडलाइन ना देखे, लेटेस्ट अपडेटेड
Latest
वेबसाइट पे जाके चेक कर ले.
बिल्कुल.
वेरी नाइस. आई वांटेड टू नो कि दोज पीपल हु आर ट्रैवलिंग, probably traveling abroad or they are coming to India, उनके लिए कुछ क्या स्पेसिफिक गाइडलाइंस आए हैं?
So, ma'am, currently, if somebody is coming to India, especially from Southeast countries, I'm not sure about the whole list, but I've heard people coming from Thailand, China, and I think they have included Maldives also. So, if you're coming from those areas, you have to get yourself tested.
Okay.
So, tested for COVID. So, they're doing RT-PCR. If you have the report, or they can do it on.
So
at the
are they doing airport पे random checks
Yes,
वगैरह?
yes, random
Thermal
checks are
checks
happening.
and all that has
Exactly,
been started.
exactly. It's happening. It's not mandatory yet.
Alright.
It's not mandatory for Indians to get yourself tested as of now. I'm talking about right now.
Right.
In fact, I'm traveling tonight, so it's not there. I checked the guidelines today itself, but it might become.
We will have to see how the things turn out. All right, fantastic. The last part of this talk, I wanted you to kindly इन्फॉर्म आर व्यूअर्स कि वैक्सीनेशन के बारे में ये बहुत थोड़ा सा ये हो गया है कि फर्स्ट बूस्टर, सेकंड बूस्टर और जो भी, तो उसके बारे में हमारे व्यूअर्स को थोड़ा सा बताते हैं कि क्या है, व्हाट इज़ द परफेक्ट गाइडलाइन.
So I believe 90% or more than 90% of the population is already vaccinated and they've taken first booster.
At least.
Now, guidelines have not come out for second booster yet. It's not mandatory. It's available in the market and people are taking it. There's this new nasal vaccination which is coming up.
Yes.
And I just got the news that again for that booster there needs to be a gap. The guidelines are still coming up.
Okay.
So I'm afraid we'll have to wait for
Wait
few more
for the
minutes.
final guidelines.
And
come.
once it gets mandatory,
We will update our viewers.
Exactly. You know how government worked last year,
Fantastic.
so they will definitely do a great job
Great
for that.
job.
And now we know how it worked, because you can see that people are not getting infected like they did in the first wave, and probably in the second wave. Because second wave, we were caught in the middle. There were vaccination happening, but still, the wave came in, and a lot of people got infected.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amit. We learned so much, but before we sign off for this interview, it would be incomplete till I know that the kind of work which you all did in COVID and the spectrum of cases you saw, if you could just share your experience in few words to tell how it was.
It was a mixed feeling. We felt good, the amount of work the whole medical fraternity did, my team and everybody. I won't say doctors, but it was a teamwork where you had doctors, support staff, paramedics, administrators, everyone. So everyone worked a lot, and I think the kind of work we did, it was amazing. I was really scared the amount of cases coming in and the reports that were coming from European countries and US, and we did a great job. I can definitely say that. It's coming from somebody who did not sleep for days. I mean, my whole team was working tirelessly, and more than doctors, I believe nurses work the most. So everybody worked, and everybody is still prepared. But this promise, as a medical fraternity, we want from your side is to be cautious about this.
Correct.
And take this thing seriously. And I'm not trying to afraid you.
Panic. You should not be panicking. But whatever is latest.
But take all the necessary precautions.
All right.
That's what I would advise. And plus, Indians, we have good immunity, so don't worry.
We'll sail through this one. Thank you so much, Dr. Amit. It was such a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.